Hello guys, it's me, Holy Palace 669, and today I'm going to do a talent. Man, fuck this shit, dude. Alright, listen up, you degenerate Naruto running motherfuckers. Today, I'm gonna be gracing you with a real PvP, PvE guide for pre-pack, because your talents are fucked up. Alright, so, not all the Paladin mains and Warlock mains have clicked off the video to go trick-or-treating on Moonglade. Let me provide you with some real peak intelligence, since I am truly woke as fuck. But on a serious note, the reason I'm making this guide is purely because I don't like other guides they are providing at the moment. And before you type in the comments, "Oh, but Stacy, you didn't see them all," then no, shut the fuck up. No, I didn't see them all yet, but to be honest, I don't want to fucking see them all. But the ones I did saw, I don't agree with at the moment. So without further ado, let's talk about your rating. I mean this talent guide, because let's be honest. Keep in mind, I will go over all the potential builds. I'll highlight the two main ones that I use for PvP and the other one I would use for PvE. Alright, build number 1. Alright, so in the spirit of Halloween, right, let's talk about the fucking build that's been haunting me since this day. Since they've been talking about it on beta. I hate this build extremely, it's so bad. This is the one that I'm talking about. So it's the Blind Fury one with the Insatiable Hunger, Unbound Chaos, Soul Rendering. They recommend either or, Cycle of Hatred and Demonic. Now I really hate this build because of how fury starved you can get, and then you can get like immense amount of fury and then no fury. It's just scuffed. And then this is bad if you want to use it in PvP. Don't ever use this in PvP. I don't think it's even good in PvE. This build, in my mind, it's extremely bad. You should not even be using this. I'm just showing this build because everyone has been talking about it. Everyone says that's good. It's not good. Do not use this build. Right, build number 2. Okay, so for build number 2, all I've changed was the Demonic Appetite instead of the Blind Fury. You can use Insatiable Hunger on this build. You can also use the Burning Hatred if you struggle to keep your ratio of Demon's Bite to Chaos Strike. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but in this build, you do not use Blade Dance. You don't use it in the previous build. If you want to use the previous build, you can, but know that you don't use Blade Dance in either one of those builds. Also with this one, you can, if you're not comfortable with Unbound Chaos, you can use Glaive Tempest. They kind of do the same damage. Obviously you get a little bit more from Unbound Chaos, but you can use Glaive Tempest instead of using that. You can replace this as your normal rotation for Blade Dance, and then you'll be able to kind of feel like it's still the same old Demon Hunter build where you constantly spam your Blade Dance off cooldown. Instead of doing that, you just spam the Glaive Tempest. Everything else here you can keep the same, and then on to build number 3. Alright, so for build number 3, this will be the main PvE build that you would be using. It's Demonic Appetite, Burning Hatred, and Unbound Chaos instead of all the rest. You can, instead of using Soul Rendering, you can use Desperate Instincts or Netherwalk. I would recommend that you use Desperate Instincts because it gives you back the old blur that we used to have of the 35% damage reduction. The Netherwalk I don't really enjoy that much because it's a 3-minute cooldown now instead of the 2-minute cooldowns. And then also your Cycle of Hatred kind of works very well with the constant metamorphosis that you want to keep up and the constant I-beam that you want to be using for the haste increase. So Cycle of Hatred is pretty good. I would not use First Blood particularly if I'm not using Trial of Rain. So that's why instead I've picked the Cycle of Hatred. Essence Break, it's still not, in my opinion, where it's supposed to be. I guess maybe, hopefully, after the pre-patch, maybe when they start working on Demon Hunters again, this will be viable one day, but at the moment I don't really enjoy this talent much. From that, this would be the build that you'd be using in PvE. The other 2 builds are also PvE builds, but those ones I would not recommend you'd be using. Okay, so for build number 4, this will be your PvP build. The build kind of goes into perspective with your talents and your PvP talents as well. So as we go on, I'll talk about them. Demonic Appetite is very important for a Demon Hunter. I really enjoy this talent. It's one of the things that makes Demon Hunters so strong, I think. The lesser soul fragments that get spawned, obviously it heals you by a bunch, as well as the giant fury increase that it gives. You can use Fellblade instead to keep up with stuff like shamans, ghost wolf that constantly run away from you, druids, mages, rogues, everything that kind of like wants to kite the shit out of you. You can use Fellblade to get on top of them. It's not a bad spell. You can use this and then it would help you out with that, but I would only recommend this if you have a healer in your team. If not, then stick with Demonic Appetite and then just fucking kill them. So going on to the second row of talents, you would either be using Burning Hatred or Insatiable Hunger. I think if you use Insatiable Hunger, it will kind of keep you not spending your Burning Hatred on times when you need it. So let's say Elemental Shaman lassos you, then you can use your Cleanse by Flame to remove that. But now if you've been constantly spamming your Immolation Aura for the Fury gain, then you're not going to have that when you need it. So instead of using that to generate your Fury, instead use Insatiable Hunger and keep this as a kind of defensive CD when you know the Shaman's going to grip you, or when there's a bunch of Warlock dots on you or Shadow Priest dots on you, you can just cleanse yourself. But if you're not running Cleanse by Flame, I would recommend that you go Burning Hatred, and then you can run something else like your Reverse Magic, where you just need the one dispel. You don't want to use Unbound Chaos in PvP because it's extremely hard to land. It wastes a Fel charge. You need a stun to set it up or a slow to set it up. It just uses 3 GCs for that amount of damage. It's not good. You can instead have the passive of the Trial of Rain constantly be up, because you're going to have a 7-second cooldown, and then while in Metamorphosis a 3-second cooldown. Glaive Temper is also not the best, because you need to guarantee that your enemies are going to stand in the same spot for 3 seconds. You would want to generally go Soul Rending, but the thing is, if you have a healer with you, you might as well go Desperate Instincts. It does trigger on 35% health, but you're always going to cast it before that happens. And if you don't cast it and you're in a stun, then shit, it saved your life. Only time I go Nether Walk is when I'm versus Fire Mage Rogue. It's the only time I'll use this talent. I've never used it outside of anything else. As for that, you won't use Cycle of Hatred because you won't always be able to have a chance to get your I-beam refreshed, because if you're in a quick arena, it goes for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and it's over. So you want to do as much damage as you can. So this is purely damage build. You need to interchange these talents and your PvP talents and your normal talents depending on the situation. So let's say the comp that we're versus Rogue Fire Mage, like I said, then you'll go Insatiable Hunger and you'll go Nether Walk. Over here, you will probably not even be using Rain from Above, because you can just get killed from the fucking sky, and smoke bombs from rogues suck. So I've generally been running a lot of Eye of Lothros against fire mages, but to be honest, I don't know if you could get it to pay off for you, because sometimes it does not really pay off, and it's just shit. So sometimes it works out pretty well, sometimes it works out pretty bad. If I know the fire mage is going to be good, then I just go for detainment. I detain the rogue and I constantly sit on top of the fire mage. You'll go for Cover of Darkness to keep your teammate alive, keep yourself alive, and Reverse Magic. But if you're not going against the magic comp, let's say it's 2 red paladins, then you'll go Desperate Instincts, Burning Hatred, you'll go for Cover of Darkness, Reverse Magic you can keep because it can remove Hodge, and then also Detainment you can keep, or you can go for Rain from Above. Either one of these talents are pretty good. I generally would go for Rain from Above versus those types of hard hitters. But yeah, that's the difference from the spells from PvP talents to PvE talents. And yeah, and that's how I would use them generally depending on the situation. Okay, so that's it for all the talents on this guide. It's just the 4 talents that you'd be using, either your PvP or PvE talents, depending on your situation. The great thing that I really like about what they did with the Demon Hunters is the fact that they're giving us the ability to choose our talents now. It's not just a set amount of talents that you need to go because this guy says you need to go these talents. You can change anything up these days on the Demon Hunters, and then it should give you the same or maybe better results or similar results. So that's the great thing about Demon Hunter's talents at the moment. Please comment, like, and subscribe if any of this was helpful to you, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. I don't really make a lot of these guides, but if this helps someone out there with Demon Hunter struggles, because of all that shit that's been going through of the pre-patch. Everyone is just giving out garbage information. I hope this helps you guys. So yeah, enjoy your day. Bye.